Well, good evening and welcome to Gender Agenda. Of course, that was the trailer of the Double Minority coming to you shortly, but I am Adora Sydney Jack. On today's program, we ask a critical and urgent question. Where are the women in the dynamics of the 2027 elections? What intrigues, barriers, and political structures continue to keep women on the margins? And more importantly, what must be done to open up political spaces for women to participate, lead, and win? In a bold and timely statement, the governor of Abia State, Alex Otti, reiterated that the State Assembly can no longer remain a men-only institution. Of course, there are only men there at the moment. And looking ahead to 2027, the emphasis on the need for deliberate action from the creation of additional constituencies to voluntary steps. Down, of course, looking at male lawmakers, looking at making sure that notably they will start to look at having more women at the office. Starting with 4 women out of 24 members would be better than nothing, he also has raised. Now, this raises a deeper national conversation. Are Nigeria's political systems truly ready to accommodate women, or are women still expected to fight twice as hard for half the space? Today we shine a spotlight on the political journeys of some amazing, courageous women who dared to run, dared to speak, and dared to challenge the status quo through the powerful documentary, Double Minority. And this Double Minority documentary was produced by Kadaria Ahmed. The stories are not just stories of participation, but they are stories of resistance, resilience, and the pursuit of representation in a system that often works against them. So stay with us as we unpack the realities, the politics, and the possibilities of those women. We'll be right back.
I was called all sorts of names. You think you can contest?
My closest team member was kidnapped for almost 4 days.
My only challenge is finances. I don't have money.
It's tough for me to become a governor in this state. Not because I don't have the capabilities, but because I'm a woman.
Politics in Nigeria has always been a choral of diverse voices. But there is one notable absence: the voice of women.
The percentage of female representation is currently at a dismal 3.6%.
But there are women who have refused to be coward and dare to challenge the status quo.
There is no money. We're trying to do transfers.
Already marginalized in wider Nigerian society, these women in the boys' club that is Nigerian politics are a double minority. Politics in Nigeria has always been a chorus of diverse voices, but there is one notable absence: the voice of women.
The percentage of female representation is currently at a dismal 3.6%.
If we don't bring gender, what will happen to 51%?
Despite being a little over half of the voting population, through systemic barriers and deep-seated cultural resistance, the Nigerian woman is pushed out of the political space, sometimes violently, when her ambitions extend to leadership.
If you are not strong-willed, please don't come into the fray.
But there are women who have refused to be coward and dare to challenge the status quo.
So I keep saying it like I'm outworking my opponents. At the primary level, I outworked everybody because I was coming from a point of disadvantage. Why me as opposed to my opponents? Every single thing.
Already marginalized in wider Nigerian society, these women in the boys' club that is Nigerian politics are a double minority. This is their story.
My name is Simi Olushola, and I'm seeking to represent the people of Ikere Constituency 2 at the Ekiti State House of Assembly under the platform of the PDP, the People's Democratic Party.
My name is Adiola Aziz. I'm running under the Social Democratic Party. I am contesting for the House of Representatives under Ijebu Central Federal Constituency in Ogun State.
Nenna Elendu KJ. I'm the PDP candidate for the House of Representatives for Bender Federal Constituency.
My name is Natasha Hadiza Fotiuduaha, and I am contesting to be Senator of Kogi Central District under the banner of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP.
Ireti Hiba Kingibe, and I am the Labour Party senatorial candidate for the Federal Capital Territory.
My name is Hawa Abdullahi Gambo. I am running for the seat of the House of Representatives, Chukunkajuru Federal Constituency, under the platform of African Democratic Congress, ADC.
I am Munira Suleiman Tanimu, here East Constituency.
My name is Joyce Daniels, and I aspire to be chairman Eastern Central Local Government Area of Edo State on the platform of the People's Democratic Party.
My name is Khadija Abdullahi. I'm the gubernatorial candidate for Abka in Niger State.
Government is the absolute only institution in the world that can bring change at scale and sustainable change.
Kò lè dọ́gba pé báyé ṣe rí nìyẹn, ìka ò dọ́gba, so a ní kó dọ́gba, but kí gbogbo wa lè lọ school tó dáa, kí gbogbo wa lè rí iná, kí gbogbo wa lè rí ọ̀nà tó dáa, kí gbogbo wa lómi. Ṣé ìyẹn ò pọ̀ jù ká láti béèrè lọ́wọ́ ìjọba?
I can't continue my advocacy, understanding fully well that the civil society space is very weak in Nigeria. Nobody listens to you. If you like, scream with the smartest ideas, try to push forth the best reasoning, pretty much nobody will listen to you. As a matter of fact, you could just position yourself at risk of being killed or being arrested. So here I was. I thought, okay, politics, maybe.
Maya Angelou said that when a woman stands up for herself, without claiming it, she stands up for other women. But I say today that when a woman stands up for herself, knowingly, consciously, intentionally, she stands up for every woman, she stands up for every man, she stands up for every child. So I today stand up for everyone born of a woman.
My dad is Chief Ayo Adebanjo. He's renowned political icon. The fact that I have a political interest in engaging the community, that has occurred because of the way he has brought us up. Kí lẹ fẹ́ ká ṣe fún yín? Kí lẹ fẹ́ kí n ṣe fún yín? Ṣé rí nǹkan tẹ́ máa ṣe fún wa? Ẹ sì mọ bí Nàìjíríà ṣe rí báyìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà. Ìgbà tẹ́ ẹ bá wọlé, kẹ́ ẹ rántí ọmọ ẹni tẹ́yìn ṣe. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Nítorí àwọn tó ti kọ́kọ́ ṣe kọjá, kì í ṣe nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ fún wa náà padà wá ń ṣe lóye mi. Orí ẹ̀ á ṣe é ṣe fún yín. Ẹ ní ṣàṣetì.
Looking at my mother, at the time she was the first female judge of the Federal High Court. And I think that, her going through the ranks and becoming the first female chief judge of the Federal High Court was also a lot of influence on me in my chosen path. There was also the fact that my natural instincts to just go out there and try to make a difference. I mean, for me, it was putting a smile on someone's face every day. And it was a mantra for me. And I think the coming together of those three things made it a natural progression for me, that politics was where I landed.
The second job, I ask for sir, and we will make this for protect.
I run a social enterprise called Shiro's Rising Development Initiative. It's a small blog of gender advocacy that I run and manage. I have all throughout my career advocated, talked about doing the right thing, doing the right thing, doing the right thing. What about if I am one of those who are supposed to do the right thing? If I turn this down, I am not living my talk. At least 60% of my manifesto was designed around women. Women's economic empowerment, women's inclusion, girl-child education, capacity building. And for the children, it is more of ensuring that children are in school, especially the girl child.
I have been supporting humanity for over 10 years now. My NGO is about 10 years old. We're celebrating 10 years next year. And I have touched over 3,000 lives. And I thought to myself, you know, the only way you could do more is to participate in politics. That way you can get the help of the government and even have more support.
Everywhere you go, you see poverty written all over, embellished in each of the local government areas that we've got. You see it in the eyes of the women. You see it in the eyes of the youth. They don't even, it's like they've lost hope in the whole process. Niger State is in a deplorable state.
As we speak today, less than 9% of those contesting for 2023 elections are women. And if you also look at the political dynamics in Nigeria, there are the big political parties and there are new and small political parties. And so if we look at the big political parties, it's even worse. Women who are running at less than 3%, those so-called big political parties. So if, peradventure, those big political parties, you know, become the defining factor for 2023 election, it is obvious that we are likely going to get, you know, lesser number, you know, of women in political space in the coming period.
Women have not even been able to fill this quota. Why? Because only few of them have been coming out, have been showing interest in politics.
Too many of them are afraid. You know, it's a jungle out there, and most people are not strong enough to face the upheavals of politics.
Now let's look at the numbers. It's a mathematical problem, not a gender problem. Here's what I mean. If you have 5 women come into a race of 26 people running, what is the probability that it is one of these 5 that will win? Mathematically, they are disadvantaged. But if you have 16 women run in a race of 26 players, the chances of one of the 16 winning does what? Increases. The number of women who even come into the funnel are so small.
In our party constitution, you will see there that even in elective positions and appointments, women should be given nothing less than 35%. Though it seems we have not really been able to achieve this, not because the party doesn't want to do that, but unfortunately, only very few women do come out.
It's because money is often the biggest problem. It's because the biggest hurdle that women have. I think in general, newcomers to the political process have trouble raising money. And you need money, right? They need money.
My only challenge is finances. I don't have money. I'm not from a privileged background that gives me money. So that's my only challenge.
My primaries, for me to emerge a candidate, it cost me over $1 billion.
And so, up till date, I have spent 22 million, a little over 22 million, and I'm looking to raise 40 million more.
As at the end of October, I have spent about 42 million naira. And that is from friends, family, corporate sector, entrepreneurs all over abroad. And since then and now, I think I've gotten another 12 million.
The reality of it is, as a senator, I'm only supposed to spend 100 million. The truth is I've already spent more than that. That's the truth.
And I need at least another 100 million to go to the end of this elections.
I've attended to a couple of calls even this morning, today. Okay. And what was the reason for their calls? Christmas is here, New Year is around the corner, they haven't given us anything.
In a way, you don't even give them. They get violent about it. Four.
èèyàn tó fẹ́ bímọ ara ẹ̀ báyìí ó ti dọmọ ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó bá ti ń contest èèyàn tó lóyún ara ẹ̀ oyún ẹ̀ ló níyẹn.
The people whose buy-in you seek are poor people. Poor people. Now, in the period of the cash crunch where there was no naira in circulation, there were people in my village who could only afford to eat once a day. Someone like that, you come to meet them and say you need their support for politics. Then go tell you, say, sister, you know, say I never job since morning. You will give them money. So do you understand when we say poverty is also being weaponized?
And except you have a good mentor, someone who believes in you and can spend a good amount of funds on you, it's tough to grow there.
Talking about having a godfather or backing, I mean, that doesn't exist for me. And I was also very deliberate about that. So it did not happen that I just did not have a godfather. I will never have one in politics.
I've neutralized it and said the same way I needed mentors and sponsors in business, I needed people to stand for me or sit for me at negotiation tables and negotiate for me during hot or heated debates in business. I still need people to speak for me in politics. And as it is in business with mentorship and sponsorship, in politics we call it a different name that usually connotes a bad thing. What do we say? Political godfather, godmother. You see godfathers, people now become lords. Those people that have the money sponsor legislators into the National Assembly. And then in turn, these people serve them. And then now you understand, because of this unhealthy narrative of godfatherism, you have people who were voted into office, and then when they get there, they can't perform in service to the people because they are sometimes servicing godfathers that are even out of state.
Beyond money, violence has also played a major role in excluding women in politics. And my house got burnt down on the 3rd of October. In a random attack. It burnt down my house, it burnt down my cars that I used in the constituency.
My closest team member was kidnapped. Yes, for almost 4 days.
And we had people who lost their lives. One of the cases that was so sad for me was my youth leader here, Ojo Inesi. His grave is just a few meters away.
Culture came into it.
I think that the history really of our world has been a history of men getting quotas. We just did not call them quotas, we called them culture.
nǹkan tó jẹ́ kó máa nira ni pé one wọ́n bìlífù pé aláṣẹ́wó obìnrin ló ń ṣòṣèlú ìkejì ni pé obìnrin ò lè ráyè ìkẹta ni pé ìbolo obìnrin gan ti fẹ́ rówó ṣọ́kọ ẹ̀ lè support ẹ̀ to get money láti ṣèṣèlú ìdí nìyẹn tí mo ta fi ń bìlífù pé obìnrin ò lè ṣe kínní ní ṣe òṣèlú that's the reason ta fi especially me at that time.
In my village of Idungele Ewu today, women are not allowed to speak at village meetings. They only make their voices heard to their own spokeswoman, who, after the meeting, goes to the house of the spokesman to tell him what the women think about a meeting that ended several hours earlier. Right? So culturally, women don't speak in public, as it were, except it is a women's program. That's not a political problem. That's a cultural problem.
You are looked at as a usurper, as someone who's coming to take away the patrimony. And so they are nasty nastier to women than to men.
So we had a lot of back and forth with who our deputy should be. You will not believe how many people we asked. The thought of deputizing a woman was too much for them. One person, he came here like 3 or 4 times. We had discussions, we had lunch and all of that. Later on, what we heard, the words outside was that I
was also gender shamed that because I'm a woman, Kogi State had never had a female senator, therefore, what makes me think I'm qualified to be one? Women are not supposed to be leaders. And mind you, because our president then had already made a statement that women belong to the kitchen and the other room, so they were kind of repeating that.
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room and the other room.
And there's a thing that they say in Igbo land, Okake Sisakba, and I'm going to translate. Okake Sisakba means she's not carried a bag for anybody. So basically, the attitude was, where did this one come from? She's young, she's snooty, she's female, she's speaking English, she hasn't served anybody, and yet, you know, she aspires to leadership. Who's she going to lead? And that is the problem, that we always see political office as leadership rather than servitude. And I always said to them that if only they would see it as service, then it wouldn't matter that I was young.
Just having to go beg people. I'm like, God, I'm trying to do something good here. I'm really here to help people. Like, it's something different. Like, how? Why do I have to beg this? I mean, I'm going to place and I'm kneeling down for some people. I'm begging and saying, please support me. I'm like, why is it this hard? Why do I have to come and beg you because I'm trying to do good?
If you are not strong-willed, please don't come into the fray. Because the food here is not served a la carte. You wrestle it.
They had dog bodies. His only intention was to disrupt the election so that materials would not get to the polling units. The election was Saturday, so this was like Thursday night.
I want to over there. I want to see me and my own people.
There is no...
We'll definitely be taking our touch points to conclude that documentary in a short while, maybe in another edition. But this time, I want to say that was thought-provoking, Double Minority by Kadiri Ahmed. And it goes to say that the story goes beyond politics to reveal the lived realities of women who dare to step into Nigeria's political arena. Elections are coming, women's voices need to amplify, and you need to support them. The media needs to do a lot to showcase these women, and let's put our best foot forward. My name is Adora Sidney Jack. See you again next week. Goodbye for now.
Nations all around the world, women are longing to be free, no longer in the shadows, forced to stay behind, but side by side in true equality.